Good morning, everybody. So in today's video, we are making homemade canned pizza sauce. So I am taking off the skins off the tomatoes right now, and I'm putting them into a cold bottle of or bowl of water on my other counter here. If you want to see an in-depth process of this, look at my previous video on salsa. That is where I have a lot of that. I go through the process more in depth with you. So right now, all I'm doing is blanching the skins off the tomatoes. This process makes it easier for the skins to be peeled off of them. You only want to blanch your tomatoes for 2 to 3 minutes at a time. I don't know if you can see that, but you see how the skin's split? It's starting to come off. That's what we want. So I have a little bit of leftover tomatoes from the salsa video that I did previously. So we're going to use that plus these tomatoes here to make pizza sauce. This process is actually quite fast, and I don't have too many tomatoes here. I'm hoping to just get 4 to 10 jars of pizza sauce. So hopefully I'm going to do half pints. So hopefully this will be enough. Each jar will be enough for 2 pizzas, homemade pizzas. Okay, so I'm going to let these boil for a little bit, and I'm going to finish blanching these ones, and then I will show you taking off some of the skins. So I finished blanching everything. I got them in this big bowl of cold water here. So now I am just going to take the skins off. If you look in my previous video of salsa, they come right off. I show you in-depth process. They slide right off. So all I'm going to do is the same as I did in the salsa video. And I'm just going to cut off the cores. And that's it. I want to take the skin off because I'm not a big fan of the texture of the skin in sauces. Like I was saying in my previous videos, I know a lot of people like the skins on. I'm just not one of them. So I prefer to take the extra half hour to take the skins off, depending on how many tomatoes you're doing. This literally took me 10 minutes for this amount of, maybe 15 minutes for this amount of tomatoes. So, and I am going to be using some of the tomatoes that I had left over from the salsa. We're going to be blending these up with the food processor. And then once they, well, actually, maybe I'll just do it with the immersion blender right in the pot. I think that'll be easier. One less dish that I have to dirty. That's always good, right? Because I'm going to be using the immersion blender to blend them nice and smooth to begin with. So I think I'm just going to do that right into the pot here. So I think I'm going to cut these into quarters just so they're a little easier to blend. If you want to take the seeds out, you can. It's not necessary. It'll all blend up nice. Yeah, I think it would be easier to blend them in the pot. I have a mixture of tomatoes from the farmer's truck and organic ones, and a mixture of a few of my own homegrown ones in here. I have a few that have been coming ripe lately, so I just threw them in the bowl here. I don't go in depth into all of my canning processes in all of my videos, only because I know some of you watch my videos all the time, and I know you're not going to want to watch the same process over and over and over. So if you want to know how to, if you're new to my channel and you want to know how to do these sort of things in depth, I have plenty of canning videos that you can watch on my channel showing the in-depth processes of how I do certain things. So I'm going to finish the rest of this off camera so you don't have to watch me peel all these tomatoes. And as soon as I am done and we're ready to go on to the next step, I will come back and we will do that together. This is all the tomatoes. They're all cut in half and skins off. This is what was left over from the salsa. So I pour that in. And then I'm just going to pour all of these in. Try to make sure I don't get them everywhere. Okay, so now I'm going to get the immersion blender and we're going to blend this. Okay. If I had my blender still, I would do it in that. But it's okay, this is working really well. It's just going to take me a minute. Use a spoon and see how many more chunks are still left in here. Actually, oh, there's one right there. I think I got almost all of them. Okay, let's blend that one up. I'm just going to blend this a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to go get some more of the rest of the ingredients to go into the pizza sauce. Okay, so I'm going to stick in about that much basil. That's probably about, what, a good handful? Chopped basil. This part is not in the recipe. I just wanted to add basil to this for more flavor. Okay, and then it says about 2 teaspoons or so, to taste mostly, of oregano. I think I'm going to do a little bit more just because this is quite a big pot. I have about half a cup of sugar to cut some of the tart. I have about half a cup of lemon juice. And it says about 1 teaspoon of this, but to taste, of garlic paste, by the way. So I'm going to add a little bit more than that because we like quite a bit of garlic. And this isn't in the recipe, but I'm going to stick 2 cans of tomato paste into this to help thicken up the mixture and to give it a little bit more tomato flavor. And then all we need left is salt and pepper. Okay, let me mix this in first. This is going to boil down for a few hours. I would like it to be a thicker pizza sauce. A little bit thicker than this anyways. This is, I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me show you. This is actually quite thin, so I want to boil this down a bit. Okay, so I'm going to go get some kosher salt. I almost used table salt by accident. When you're canning, you have to use kosher salt, so I'll go get that. So to taste for the salt, like that. I'll taste it again later and see if it needs more after it's been boiling for a while. So some pepper. This is also to taste. We'll put about that much and then we'll taste it later. Okay, so I'm going to sit here and let this boil down for a bit, and when it's boiled to the thickness that I would like, I will come back and we'll finish the process. Just give you guys a little bit of an update. It has reduced down by, what is that, about 1 inch? It's been cooking for about 40 minutes. I'm going to continue to let it cook down a little bit more though. I want it to be a little thicker than this. Okay, so this has been simmering now for probably about 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours. And as you can see, it was up here. So it has probably reduced, how many inches would you say that is? Probably about 3 or 4 inches. So I think it's thick enough now that we're going to can it now. So let's do that. Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to can them in these pint-sized jars, or half pint-sized jars, pardon me. I feel this will be almost exactly enough for 2 pizzas. So I think this is the best size to can this in. I did taste this and I added another 1/4 cup of sugar to it. The spices were perfect, but it needed a little bit more sugar. I wanted this sauce to be ready, so all I have to do is take it out of the jar and put it right on the pizza. So I didn't want the sauces to be off. So I'm leaving about a 1/2 inch headspace. Let's see how many jars we get of this. I do like that I simmered it down to be a little bit more thicker. That'll be nice when I'm spreading it on the pizzas. Oh, I just got sauce everywhere. I like to heat my lids if you haven't watched any of my other canning videos. I find it helps the jars seal better, but it's not mandatory. You can put the lids right on without being heated. It's just a preference I do. I never have a problem with my jars sealing, like ever. So you got to make sure you wipe the rims really, really well. I have water and vinegar on my cloth, and that's what I'm wiping the rims with. I prepped about 12 jars here. We'll see. I might need to get a little more. We'll see. If we get way more than 12, I'm perfectly okay with that. It'll just mean I'll have a lot more for a lot longer. I won't have to make it again for a while. When I make homemade pizza, I tend to only make about 2 at a time, so this should be almost perfect amount. And if, I decide to do pizza for like a birthday party or something like that, I can always use more than one. Not a big deal. I noticed the other day when I was at the grocery store, a jar of pizza sauce that is, well, a can, about this big, is almost $5. That's kind of crazy to me. Things are getting very expensive, and there's a lot of toxins in our food. So that's one of the reasons why I like to home can a lot of my own products. And they taste better. The main reason is they taste better, but it's also quite a bit cheaper. It's more work, but it's also more satisfying because you can make it to your taste and exactly what you like. I have a feeling we're going to get more than 12. I was very surprised how much this simmered down. And it actually did it quite quickly. I expected it to take at least 3 or 4 hours, but within 2 hours this simmered down quite nice. So we're already at what I was hoping to get. 10 jars is what I was hoping to get. We're going to get a lot more than 10. I still have about 1/4 of a pot in here. So I'm going to have to get some more jars in a second here. Prep some more jars and some more lids. Okay, so I'm going to put this lid on, and then I'm going to go get some more jars. Remember to sanitize your jars before using them. You can sanitize them in the dishwasher or in hot water. I also like to sanitize mine putting them in the oven. When I'm cold packing like this, I just sanitize them with hot water. Okay, I will be right back and get more jars. Okay, so I got some more jars, more lids in the pot here. Now let's try and see how many more jars here we can get. Hopefully these are enough. I had 7 more here. I think that might be all of the really small half-pint jars that I have. So I might need to fill a bigger one if these aren't enough. So we'll see. Oop. It's got it on the edge of the cloth here. I'm going to put a tiny bit more in this one. It's a little low. I think this might be almost exact. Let's see. The last jar. I think this is going to be the last one. Perfect amount, look at that. I love it when it's perfect like that. It's very satisfying. Okay, so we got a lot more than I was expecting. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 half pints. I'm really satisfied with that. Okay, so I'm going to start canning these, and I'll show you after they're all done processing, because this is going to take a few hours. So I'll see you when I come back. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little update before I show you the finished product. So I managed to fit 10 half pints into my canner, and I'm going to be canning these for about 20 minutes. Okay, so the first batch is done being processed, and it looks great. They're starting to seal, and then I'm just going to put the next batch in. So guys, I'm about to put the last batch in, and you know, I hope you enjoyed making pizza sauce with me. I hope you try the recipe. I think it was a very rewarding experience. I got more jars out of it than I expected. and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.